Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water, so you can lose more sweat and put the league on notice. Gatorade, is it in you?
Yeah, birds in the trap, they gon' stink. Mara, serving the ash out of big bottle. Don't tell me shut up, you are not my boss. Turn up so much now I just can't turn off. Don't call me message, you can't answer when I call you. Daddy was a rolling stone, I get it from my father. Chain so heavy that I can't wear all of. She know I was a devil cause I wear a lot of product.
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU.
Welcome back to the Paradise Coast Sports Complex in Naples, Florida. It's the 7th grade FBU National Championship. SoCal against Central Florida, who, like our previous game, Central Florida, the reigning title holders at the 7th grade level. They won a game late last year against Ohio in the finals. And now a new crop of players hoping to lead the 7th graders back to the promised land. And SoCal, who's been in this position at the 8th grade level before. In fact, their 8th graders were the runners-up last year, but a new crop of talent has emerged. Runners-up at the 7th grade level in 2021. SoCal's in the light blue. Central Florida's in white. And SoCal will start with the first possession of the game. Neil Sika with the general manager of the FBU All-American Bowl. Anthony Williams here to have some fun, our great crew alongside on a beautiful day for this 7th grade game. And just looking at the presence of both of these teams and what they've done in the quarters and semis on the way here, Anthony, we're expecting a great championship.
No, absolutely we are. Both these teams deserve to be here with some really close victories earlier this week. Great job by Prep Spin. Obviously great working with you again. Showed me how to do the commentary, the color and everything. Really enjoyed it. Weather is great. A little windy, but we've got two solid teams here to vie and compete for that 7th grade championship.
Now, Central Florida, that name will always have a special presence in the history of the FBU National Championship, which at the 8th grade level, which is our feature game later tonight, Utah versus GFL. It's the 15th anniversary, but Central Florida's 8th graders back in 2011 at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio won the very first championship. And now this group of young men, mainly out of the Orlando area, they're in white and on defense first. There are no kickoffs here in the championship. You see the 15th anniversary logo that adorns the back of all of these jerseys here. Well, the Football University National Championship, a collection of players, whether through their youth leagues that have formed these all-star teams in and around cities or state affiliations. And it's the premier event in youth football for a reason. The 7th grade game began a year after the 8th grade championship in 2012. There was a SoCal team that made noise that year to the semifinals in San Antonio. If you remember the name J.T. Daniels across the college football circuit, he was the quarterback of that 7th grade team.
Yeah, we've had a lot of great talent come through these games. You know, Christian McCaffrey and Trevor Lawrence and a whole host of guys. And it's really good, Neil. I love doing this every year with you, seeing the future guys that we'll be talking about on Friday nights, Saturdays, and some on Sunday down the road here.
Well, we're having a little bit of a delay before we get this thing underway. And to your point, even doing the FBU All-American Bowl last night, which is always such a treat. A player like Malachi Toney, who shined in that game in 2022, and he's shining in college football for the Miami Hurricanes. We'll face the Ohio State Buckeyes come New Year's Eve in the Cotton Bowl, but maybe the premier freshman in the country, and he's reclassified. He should be a senior this year.
I know him and his family personally, and it's personal, but to me, if there was a NCAA Freshman of the Year, he would win it and wouldn't even be close. He had a tremendous year for the U.
Still not sure what the issue may be.
Are we waiting for an official 1, 2?
I don't know if our side judge
is it a chain crew? I don't see the play marker guy. That's probably what they're looking for.
Well, that's a good point.
Oh, nope, here come the other two officials that are missing. Yep, little on the hop there. There we
They
go.
didn't
All
know the
right.
bathroom break was supposed to be that brief, but we're ready. 10-minute quarters here at the FBU National Championship. SoCal starts with the football.
Coming out in a tight bunch formation here, left.
They've got Christian Cicero, the quarterback, a family of quarterbacks, but he hands off on the first down. It's a gain of 6 for the team wearing light blue from the coast. And a nice run forward by Jeremiah Parker, whose dad, Sir Parker, was a star at Texas A&M, the Big 12 Championship, 1998. Very rough upbringing in the projects of Los Angeles, his father, but they've done documentaries on him, played in the NFL for a bit, and this is his son, Jeremiah. And they're ready for that run on second down in a big way. A heaping tackle by Brian Williams, who has really shined in this tournament for Central Florida.
Yes, he has. And SoCal going with a hurry-up offense here. They're going to be moving the ball here a lot, but that's a great play by Williams there to shut down that running play.
So it's 3rd down and 3 for SoCal. Got a balanced attack. You see Williams. There are several players on that defense for Central Florida. They're going to be in the conversation for the Under Armour next 8th grade game next year. And already shining at the 7th grade level. And Parker is finding it rough to go along that left side. And this time he meets the wall of Ladarius Seymour, who just played earlier in the week in the 7th grade All-American Bowl.
Yeah, tremendous play once again, holding the edge down here. Big size. SoCal has a really good size in that defensive line right now. Look for them to be active throughout the day.
So Central Florida, they've got a host of all-stars, and you'll know their names well by the end of this game. And they force, after a good run on first down, 3 big stops. It is 4th and short. And they stick 2 back deep in case there is a kick, a quick kick. And Cicero was ready to hand off, and out of the confusion comes a timeout.
And it looks like they came out in a tight punt formation, and they actually kind of ran a fake punt with a handoff there. You know, being an old school coach here, I mean, it's 4th and short here, but I'm just such a fan of just flip the field, punt the ball, let your defense score. Youth football is all about field position, and so good call by the defense to call timeout here. Make sure they got the right defense and set. Where do they punt or go for it? For you young players that are out there, once again, footballuniversity.org. If you're interested in joining a team, the best way to find out if you have a team in your area, or if you're a coach or a youth team director and you want to put a team in this tournament next year, go to FBUNC.com. Reach out to Matt Lauer, Steve Quinn, or Eric Richards, and we'll get you in the tournament for next year. And we're always looking to expand teams. Last year, 60 teams. This year, over 100.
Under 8, under 10, under 3 yards. That's what they need on 4th down. And a good push by the SoCal line. And they will get that first down with Parker running behind the big bodies.
Yeah, nice leg drive. Once again, running backs, leg drive. Once you make contact, keep those feet driving. And he helped him here get this first down and convert on 4th down.
Cicero's got that block O and that Buckeye leaf on his helmet, the quarterback. Quick throw to the flat, and it's up over midfield on the catch and run for SoCal. That's taken by Clarence Walton. They call him Peanut. His ball skills and vertical threat, tough for any defense to contend with. First down for SoCal, 2 straight now.
Love the call. A couple of running plays to get things going. Get out wide, get the ball to your receiver in space, and let him make a play, and he does. Picks up another first down.
Cicero's dad, Greg, who went to the University of Texas to start his collegiate career. He redshirted and then transferred and played at Baylor. That was back in 2000 through 2002. So a family of quarterbacks. He's a dual threat. There's some motion, though, and SoCal will start this first down off schedule.
Yeah, a little slight flinch by the offensive lineman there, caught by the officials. Back him up 5 yards.
That big offensive line, that big defensive front, it's just a giant mass of humanity right at the 45-yard line. Cicero fakes to Parker. The slant complete to Walton. Walton slips a tackle.
Bye-bye.
Peanuts and party time. Touchdown. Clarence Walton waltzes into the end zone. He makes a man miss, and SoCal strikes first.
Great RPO. When you see the replay here, one of the best well-run RPOs I've seen at the 7th grade level here, performed by the quarterback. Fake the run. Oh, we got a flag. Okay.
It is a flag, but the touchdown is good. It is on Central Florida. It looked like it was a sideline warning. Running away from the pack goes Clarence Walton. Second catch. Already 60 yards receiving and a score.
Love the call. Love the RPO. Execute it perfectly. Inside slant, give him the ball. Let your talent, your athleticism make a play for you, and then show your speed and get to the end zone.
Christian Cicero leads him down the field on the opening possession. Sir Parker in the backfield. Nason Watkins goes in motion. A little bit of a stack eye pistol for Parker, who spins off of a would-be tackle, and he's in for the 2. Conversion good. 8-0 SoCal on top here in the 7th grade FBU National Championship.
So love Parker's, just his leg drive. If you watch the replay here, spin, move, feet, driving, and still gets in there for the PAT, which is huge at the youth level, getting that 2-point conversion.
So SoCal leading it by a score. And what's interesting is they had 3 straight plays that went for nothing and then really turned it on offensively and found their groove.
Yep.
Now it's Central Florida's turn to reply. They go with 5 wide receivers, 4 to the near side with a throwback coming to Bentley. And Bentley looking downfield to an open man. It's incomplete. Well designed, but just a little askew. Willie Kitchen, who's the points leader in this 7th grade championship week, just could not bring it in the end.
Yeah, he was wide open. Great call coming out in quads formation, throw to the outside receiver. The inside receiver, which in this case, number 4, runs a corner route. He just didn't take his time and set his feet and throw the ball. Second down.
Well, the quarterback is Armani Gonsalves, and he goes to the near side and sprinting to Bentley, and that is the apt description. He is a track star, Jaquan Bentley, and he flashes that speed for 8 yards.
Good no block there to keep the ball going there. Nice pickup on second down there.
3rd down and 2. Gonsalves gets him into their set. Late substitution with Zion Cates coming into the backfield. Almost the midpoint of this first quarter. And Central Florida with their first possession looking to answer the SoCal touchdown. Another 4 wide receivers. Gonsalves with an open man, and it falls incomplete. There looked to be some confusion on that route from Turner. Did he lose it in the sun?
I don't know if he lost in the sun. I think he kind of was expecting a better pass. The receivers, every ball is like to be perfect. Sometimes you have to adjust to a bad ball. That's what makes you a great and separate yourself as a receiver. But that was a wide open play that maybe he should have caught. But I'm sure they'll come back to that look here. They come out 2 by 2 again.
That's 2 big plays downfield. They've had the open receiver. They've not connected. They go to the ground game on 4th and 2. Rough and tumble on the left edge and a first down. Working free to the outside.
Number 6, Zion Cates with the carry.
Central Florida with a very impressive O-line, all zone blocking to the left side. Move the line of scrimmage, allowed to get that first down.
Motion coming. And the throw back going for Gonsalves. And the catch made, but the tackle in open field. Great job. Konieve now right there with the stop.
Now with a great play in space right there. Sees the speed screen. Runs out there inside out leverage and makes a great tackle for the loss. SoCal coming out 2-by-2 formation once again. Shotgun.
Gonsalves throws to the middle. It's low and incomplete. In coverage, Manuel Valencia for SoCal, who was coached in this game by Gabriel Villalobos. 8-0 they scored on their first possession. It's 3rd and long.
Yeah, going to be a flag here on Central Florida. They broke the huddle with 12. Even though he ran off, you cannot break the huddle with 12. So I think they just got flagged for that. Yep, and that'll back him up 5 yards.
So that illegal substitution, that process will make it 3rd down and 15. Early days still here in this 7th grade FBU championship.
Interesting formation here on 3rd and long coming out in this power I formation.
And they snap that off. We have number 6 on our roster. It's either Harper or Cates. And driving forward, there was an update to the roster. We'll get that clarified for you, but nose diving forward, it's 4th down and 11. Demani Waters in a similar looking formation, and the snap is behind him. Going back to fall on it on 4th and 11. Disaster for Central Florida. Glorious field position in this glorious weather for SoCal. Leading at 8-0, and the football back.
Yeah, once again, another bad snap, which we saw in the 6th grade game. Costly whenever it happens here. Now SoCal's gonna get the ball in great field position at about the 26-yard line.
So the screws turn a little bit more, and SoCal up by 8 after that great catch and run by Clarence Walton. That was the book on him, make people miss, and he did exactly that on the touchdown run, and now they've got it at the 26 of Central Florida. With a bunch formation, trips on that near side, but they give it off to Jeremiah Parker. And Parker's got a good nose-diving run for 7.
Love how he gets north and south. Just finishes his runs every single time, falling forward. Picks up a nice game of about almost 8 yards.
And they're going quickly again. Slips a cut on the first try, and then gets the first down with 4 or 5 more. His size is not all that big, but he's quick, makes the right decisions. And when you run behind that big offensive line, it's tough to pick him up.
Absolutely. Looks like we got a timeout here by Central Florida. They need to kind of recollect here on defense. They're on their heels right now.
Yeah, big moment already. SoCal moved it down the field on their first possession and knocking on the door, looking to go up 2 scores early in this game. But we've already seen today, 2-score lead doesn't mean that you're in the clear. DFW East battling back valiantly, getting within a score, but Southeast Florida prevailing in the 6th grade game. That finished just about an hour ago. We're with you throughout this afternoon and into the early evening hours. 8th grade championship game will come your way next. That's Utah and GFL, who've been the Giants. GFL, the Gwinnett Football League, and the young athletes from Georgia that have shined throughout the history of this competition. They'll play Utah, but SoCal, who had been mirrored with the Inland Empire group at the 8th grade level back in 2018 and 19 when they won their 8th grade championships. But this would be a first at the 7th grade level. Runner-up 4 years ago, Christian Cicero, airmail toward the pylon, caught, touchdown. Will it stand? There's a flag.
That's going to be defensive pass interference. That touchdown pass is going to stand. Great throw, great play on the 50-50 ball for the touchdown.
Lobbed it up for LL Nuamata.
Oh, he's picking the flag up. Yep.
That was thrown with the indication it would have been offensive pass interference, but they have had cooler heads prevail and said no, and it's a touchdown for Nuamata.
Once again, Neil, great job by the coaching staff. Come out in a bunch formation up top, isolate big receiver, small DB, fade route, touchdown for SoCal.
A little pistol wing to go for 2, and Parker is cut down shy of the goal line. So the conversion fails. It's 14-0. That's just a good arm joust. What a great throw from Cicero. And the touchdown, LL Nuamata. Aolau, his given name. Aolau Iafeta, but he goes by LL Nuamata. 14-0 SoCal. Shining here in Southwest Florida.
Looks like Central Florida here. This is an important series. Once again, we talked about it. It's just the first quarter, but they need to respond here with a good drive here to get some momentum back.
Massive grind forward off that run out of the backfield.
Kenovi Lot-Ra with another good nod with a good stop there. Being very active on defense for SoCal. Holding that to a 1-yard gain.
So, new quarterback in there right now on this series is Miles Von Herbelis. Sends a man in motion. 2nd and 8. His pass is tipped. Or did it slip out of his hands? SoCal was acting like it might have been a fumble. It's ruled incomplete.
Nathan Watkins with the tip there with a great pass rush. Taught coach very well. Going after the quarterback, sees him not going to get the sack. Let me put my hands up, deflects the ball, incomplete pass, now 3rd and long for Central Florida.
So we're already 3rd and long on the ensuing series for Central Florida. In desperate need of something to go their way offensively right now, down 14-0. On Herbalist, middle, caught, and a 1st down.
Nice job by the quarterback there. You're saying in an offense, take what they give you. You want to throw the ball deep, nothing to have it. Check down your running back. He breaks tackle, gets the 1st down, move the chains. Something positive finally for Central Florida on offense.
So Von Herbalist working here. And still being cautious with the player wearing number 6 for Central Florida. We have 2 listed as number 6, Harper or Zion Cates. It was a late scratch to the roster, or add to the roster, if you will. That pass was incomplete, intended for Jeremiah Parker.
Good pressure there by number 52, Lewis, and I'm not even going to try his last name without biting my tongue. Great pressure there to cause the quarterback to get rid of the ball a little earlier than he wanted.
Come on, you're an established play-by-play man now after that 7th grade FBU All-American Bowl. There's a swing out to the flat and a cut back inside. A big run coming for Waters. 1st down and more to the 47-yard line of SoCal.
Starting to see a trend here, Neil. The Central Florida offense, get the ball to your athletes. The ball hasn't traveled over 5 yards, and they've been converting those short passes into moving the chain for 1st down. So far, they're starting to set a trend here.
Direct snap and a slip, and right down before contact in the line of scrimmage.
Been noticing a lot of slips. This turf here at Paradise Sports Complex is a little slippery. We tell the kids to keep their feet under them, put on their longer cleats, but right now they're seeing a couple of slips here that have been costly for both the offense and the defenses, actually.
Multi-use facility. FC Naples of the USL First Division, the 3rd division in American soccer, has now taken up a home here, as well as a host of other high school games and youth football games played throughout the year.
It's a really great venue. You know, you've been coming down. I've been coming down now since we moved here about 5 years ago. It's a great venue, great location. We got more infrastructure coming in. We got the Great Wolf Lodge. We got a Chick-fil-A coming in here in the corner. So it continues to grow out here in Naples.
You went down the indoor slide, I heard, earlier in the week.
Yeah, I
Is
did.
that right? Okay.
Still recovering. Hamstring.
Yeah, they do have a Chick-fil-A coming out right by the entrance to the park. That throw to the outside for Waters is incomplete. So they keep building and building at this Paradise Coast Sports Complex. 14-0 SoCal. A little bit of the movement, though, of the football coming for Central Florida on this drive behind Miles von Herbelis.
Nice play there by Jeremiah Mocker, the running back, who's now playing cornerback, closing that ball and getting that PBU. Kids all over the place now. It's very polished for a young player.
Von Herbelis. Got two receivers on the far side. The ball slips out of his hands, and that's a fumble recovered by SoCal. Oh, it's disaster. And SoCal takes it over. Brady Holler says, holler that. I've got it.
Quarterback just loses grip of the ball. That's a fumble. 99 jumps in there, doesn't try and pick it up. Let me just get possession from my offense. Great job. He said, holler back at me, girl. I made me a big play.
The puns are endless, but the punishment could be permanent for Central Florida. Down 2 scores, moving the football, and a costly turnover. So SoCal comes back out.
Central Florida definitely needs to take a deep breath right now. They cannot go down 3 scores here in the first half. So the defense definitely needs to get a stop here.
24 points is a running clock situation in any of these championship games. Last minute of the first quarter, Cicero, poise, throws that back. It was actually a lateral. It's caught, and then advancing it upfield is Braden Tenari. Or check that. That is open on the outside, and that is Walton, who had the touchdown, Clarence Walton.
Nice play by Cicero there. You know, once again, quarterbacks, yeah, you want to throw the ball down the field, but you don't want your team. Take what they give you. Deep route torn open, go to your check down. He picks up 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Every coach will take 2nd and 5 every day and twice on Sunday.
This is a first world broadcasting problem complaint. You see these numerals and the way the font is, and they cut over the jersey or are bent in any shape. They take on a different number.
Yep.
No one wants to hear you complain about that. Let's get back to the action. And it's a first down on this run going forward. Power football by SoCal up near midfield. And a nice carry there in the hole by Jamison Thompson for SoCal. And that's going to bring the end of the opening 10 minutes. And it's all light blue skies, like the weather here, light blue jerseys. SoCal leads it 14-0 here in Naples over Central Florida. This is the 7th grade FBU National Championship from Naples.
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures. The home of holes-in-one and one-of-a-kind dishes. The home of incredible comebacks and just plain kicking back. So come discover a sports paradise, because only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades. Florida's Paradise Coast.
Here in Naples, SoCal with the ball at the 48-yard line going in.
And Christian Cicero on 1st and 10. Throws to the outside. That was timing up to be a vicious collision. Pass off the mark. Coming with some violence was Bentley, while they looked for the favorite target in Walton.
Yeah, Bentley making a good job on closing that ball here. Little wheel route. He was open for a second. Quarterback almost laid out that receiver for a bad play there, but great job of the defense. Good first defensive play for Central Florida to finally kind of get some tone and get a stop here on this important series.
SoCal, they've scored on both their possessions. Central Florida had a 4th and long in their own territory on their first possession with a bad snap, and then a fumble after they were moving the football. Christian Cicero hands it off to Parker. Nimbly movement inside the middle of those big bodies over midfield to the 47. After a gain of about 4 for Parker.
I almost get the feeling, Neil, that Central Florida's scouting report, their defense, they're more focused on the pass. Linebackers are back. They only have 5 guys in the box. I mean, any good offensive coach worth his salt is going to see, hey, 5 in the box, I'm running the ball. And so they might want to make some adjustments here on defense, get another guy in that box there to stop this potent running game by SoCal.
They've taken advantage of that. It's a great depiction of what's gone on so far. Big body in the slot, 4 receivers on 3rd and 6, and the slant over the middle. Heavy targets already in this game coming for Walton, but he is knocked down short of the marker. It brings up 4th and manageable.
Yeah, Jay Smith making a great close on the ball there to prevent that first down. Solid coverage, solid tackle. Put SoCal in a 4th and long 2 formation here. SoCal coming out in that kind of tight punt formation that they either punt or run a play out of, motion out of it.
And on 4th and 2, up the middle, Jeremiah Parker, first down, but a flag comes in from the sideline.
Might be an illegal.
It's usually
motion.
an offensive scenario there.
Parker, once again, just showing tremendous leg drive. Good back, not great size, but just tremendous leg drive to get that first down. Got an illegal block below the waist that's going to nullify that gain. Oh, it's on the defense.
No, it's on the defense. So just more detrimental stuff right now for Central Florida.
They're definitely not helping their own cause right now. That'll be a first down as SoCal moves closer and closer to the red zone.
And that's a big one.
Yeah.
You can't go low
Yep.
at any level. And it's 15 yards and a first down to the 25 for SoCal. Up 14-0. Parker.
Again.
Recognition with that weak box right now in terms of the personnel for Central Florida. Another late flag comes in.
Targeting.
And this is a flag that Central Florida, and Anthony, you picked up on it right away. The line judge pointing, indicating targeting, leading with the crown of the helmet. That'll be another 15-yarder.
Yeah, young players that are out there, we are definitely trying to keep this game safe. The old saying back when I played and I coached, see what you hit what you see. Keep your head up. Yeah, that's definitely, he went in with crown leading. You can't do that. And really, Neil, what that does is it puts the player who's delivering the blow in jeopardy with a potential neck injury. So definitely lead with your face mask. Do not drop your head and see the ground when you're making a tackle.
We're going to have a timeout here. Central Florida needs to find their composure. Things are getting a little unglued. You're early in the second quarter. They've given up 2 penalties in a row. Net 30 yards. 14-0 SoCal. Let's step out 30 seconds and we'll come back to Naples. 7th grade FBU National Championship. All SoCal right now, early in this second quarter and on the march again, aided by 2 Central Florida penalties. A low block, a targeting call. First and goal at the 7. Cicero fakes on the RPO to Parker. To the outside, and he's corralled. Down on a nice play by Willie Kitchen. He's done it offensively in this tournament, but makes a nice defensive stop there.
That's a huge play on the edge there. If he doesn't make that tackle, Cicero's going to walk in the end zone here. He pulls the RPO. He's in good position, makes a good tackle, takes his legs out. Try and get some momentum for this Central Florida defense that definitely need to stop here.
So 2nd down and goal for SoCal. You can really drive a big stake into the claim for the championship if they can score here. And we're still very early on in this game. Early stages, 2nd quarter. Cicero with 3 to the near side. Throws that slant down the seam. Caught. Touchdown. SoCal on the board with 6 more, and they go up 20-0.
Nice inside slant route by the slot receiver here, number 19. Great throw by Cicero, hits him right in stride, makes the first guy miss, and gets it in the end zone. A nice play call by SoCal.
And we will get that correct. We don't have 19 on our roster, so conversion pending, and the player reception pending. But want to give the young man his just due. 20-0. Cicero hits his 2nd touchdown pass. And now to the outside. The conversion is good. LL Nuamata. 22-0. SoCal.
All SoCal right now, just being so effective and efficient on offense and defense right now. Everything working, getting stops on defense, executing their offense flawlessly. Central Florida is still trying to find their way here. As we look at 7 minutes going into halftime here, this is almost a must-score drive for Central Florida to stay in this game. One more score by SoCal, and we will get into a running clock based on our rules at FBU and C.
Well, and that was the last thing we probably would have surmised, the way these two were lining up to go in this title tilt. Direct snap out of the Wildcat for a couple of yards. And once again, we have a little bit of confusion in the booth. There are 2 number 6s on the Central Florida roster, Major Harper and Zion Cates. And the confusion really comes when we still haven't identified 1v1 and they're carrying on consecutive plays. And so the Lions' worth of duty here up the middle, but there's nothing going with now. Konieve now in for the tackle for SoCal. 3rd down and 8.
So I understand Central Florida, it's 20-0, but it's 6 minutes left before halftime. You still got a lot of game left. You still want to run your offensive game plan, but I'm not quite understanding this power I formation with them not winning at the line of scrimmage. They've got a 3rd and long here. Now it's an obvious passing down, and this SoCal defense is talented and has athletes back there. They need to be very careful here on 3rd and long, Neil.
Well, that pass in the shotgun out of the pistol offline, and then the throw back over the middle is incomplete. Gonsalves in there at quarterback. There's a lot of confusion now, too, with the offensive set of Central Florida. Just completely out of sync and out of rhythm on both ends of on both sides of the ball. 4th down.
Looks like they're going for punt formation in both the 6th grade and 7th grade games so far. Punt formation has not been very kind to either team that's been trying to do it, with either bad snaps or drop snaps here. Looks like SoCal's going to get the ball no matter what, in great field position again going into the halftime.
So out of punt formation, away it goes from Jay Smith. It's a short kick and taken by Aiden Jones, who runs toward the near sideline and crashing towards his own bench, where he's down at the 40, but excellent field position for SoCal. who can turn this, hard to believe, into a running clock situation. 5:25 remaining in the half if they score on this possession. And they are 3 for 3 in doing so in this game.
Yeah, knowing the SoCal coaching staff like I do, these guys, once again, they're still going to run their offense. Everything's working, and they're just going to continue to be balanced both in the run and pass, take advantage of what defense gives them. As Neil mentioned, Central Florida's defense kind of discombobulated right now and don't know whether to focus on run or pass because they're so balanced at both on SoCal's team.
Cicero hands to Parker. Parker makes a man miss. He's twirled down. That's going to be a face mask on Central Florida. We're just burying themselves here late in this quarter or in this quarter with penalties. After another healthy run from Parker. Great first cut.
Parker showing great footwork. Oh, it's a really bad face mask. But once again, keeps him driving his feet and makes a big play. Gets the penalty, and I mean, now SoCal once again knocking on the door as they're going to be moved inside the red zone, about the 15-yard line, and don't like the body language right now of Central Florida's defense right now, Neil. They're walking with their hands on their hips, not a lot of energy. They gotta swell up here and get a stop.
This could slip away real fast, and the seams are very loose as it is at 22-0. Well, for the first time, Cicero steps out. New quarterback is on, and Jonathan Jennings, he can really toss it. And they'll look to the aerial attack there to provide the threat as pass goes to Parker. Came out of the backfield to receive that. He gets inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, nice play concept there. Outside receiver runs a slant. Running back out of the backfield runs an arrow. I think if he would have kept it outside and just took it to the edge, he may have scored there, but he tried to cut it back and allowed Central Florida to get the stop.
Jennings looking. He's hit as he throws. And that is recovered and smartly done just in case by Jones, in case it was a fumble, but they'll call it incomplete with the ball going forward.
Nice job. A little good momentum here by the Central Florida defense here, getting that stop there. They could really use a turnover. They need to turn up the pressure in the front line and try and cause a turnover here to get this ball back and keep them out of the end zone with 4 minutes, 22 seconds left.
Cicero's going to come back on for a 3rd and call it 7 situation here. 4:22 remaining. Three touchdown passes in this game to 3 different wide receivers for Christian Cicero. We've got some movement from the receiver spot that's going to back up SoCal 5 yards.
Whenever you have a receiver getting a illegal procedure, that means they were getting the ball. It was their play, their call, and they're a little antsy. And he jumped off the line just before the ball was snapped. Neil, last time SoCal came out in this formation 3-by-1, they ran the little inside slot route for a touchdown. Let's see if they go back to it again.
Well, and Cicero, he's looking to the strong side, throws down the seam, and the receiver was knocked over. Definite premature contact before the ball arrived. Aiden Jones, the intended man, but this is going on the defense.
Yeah, they did go back to that same play. Nice little skinny route there, skinny post. Safety got there early. Now they get 1st and 10 inside the 10-yard, 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line, and it's not looking good for Central Florida defense right now.
Well, just after their defense had got to the quarterback, some disruption, a SoCal penalty. But that's a big one. The pass interference call.
And for you fans that are watching, and maybe if you're in Texas where we play federation rules, NCAA rules, the federation rules, the pass doesn't have to be catchable. If there's contact made, it's an automatic pass interference. Those are national federation rules, and those are the governing rules we're using for our tournament here at FBUNC.
I appreciate the clarification for all those out there. 22-0 SoCal. It's half the distance to the goal, so it should be right around the 9.
Neil, they can get a 1st down here. It's 3rd and 2.
And they've got 4 receivers, but they give the delay and the handoff to Parker, who spins off 1 and 2. And the ball rolls free, but he broke the plane. Touchdown. Jeremiah Parker is in for the first rushing touchdown for SoCal, and it is 28-0, and the clock will run.
Just look at the way Parker, look at his athleticism here. Hits the hole hard, puts the spin move, keeps his leg driving, and then gets in the end zone. The fumble afterwards doesn't matter. Once you cross a plane, it's a dead ball. It is a touchdown for SoCal.
He was a good 4 yards deep before that ball came out.
And we are now in running clock here, unfortunately, for Central Florida. Still not impossible, but it makes things tough here going to halftime.
24 points is the threshold. They can get that clock back to normal time should they score and get it under 24 points. But it's 28-0, and Cicero's going to throw the fade to the back corner, and it is still no signal. Time for a cup of tea, and then the decision. It's good. 2 points. Nuamata, what a catch.
Yeah, this was a dime. Nice fade route, deep in the corner of the end zone where only he can catch it. Look at the footwork by the receiver here. Makes the catch, keeps that right leg in.
That is unbelievable. What a catch for the two. 30-0 SoCal. And their fans are feeling it, and the clock is running. This thing got out of hand in a hurry.
It sure did, and for those coaches that are out there, hey, you're down 30-0. What do? You got 2 minutes left. Right now, you've got to get yourself together here before halftime. They really need to score on this drive and to go into halftime with some momentum and then make some adjustments to get back in this game.
Now this run around right end, and it's a good lugging run out near midfield. The flag does come in late.
Flag on the field.
Oh, face mask by SoCal. That's going to give them some extra yards. That's a great run by Central Florida here to get a little bit of momentum. So they'll get the ball now, I think, for the first time on the opposing side of the field here at the 48-yard line. Be 1st and 10. Direct snap, little counter play, and there's
a run to the inside that doesn't go for much. They're fighting the clock here, too, with 80 seconds remaining.
Christopher Anderson gets the carry.
like to see a little bit more urgency by Central Florida. The kids walking around, walking to the line of scrimmage here. They're playing the clock right now. They need to get things going here.
I've got this stack-looking Wildcat, and that was a mess from the start. Everyone was moving early, and the snap was high, but it's actually encroachment on the defense.
Yet another rule clarification, Neil, for those watching. Federation rules. Doesn't matter that you can get back before the snap. Once you enter the encroachment zone, it's an automatic dead ball, offsides on the defense, 5 yards for the offense.
Von Herbelis in there. He's got the better arm. Now he's busting three on a run and goes into a slide, and there is a late challenge. Now, that'll be a penalty with the tackle coming in from Valencia.
Yeah. The quarterback went into a slide, which gives him protection, but the defense guy saw him doing that, and then so he went into a slide to try and avoid contact, but he still made contact with the quarterback, and no matter what, if it wasn't intentional, they're going to pick up the flag for that and pick up some yards on that. You watch the play here. Quarterback drops back, doesn't see anything, pulls it down, climbs the pocket, gets down. He gets down, Levin gets down, and makes contact. So Central Florida finally getting some momentum here, Neil, with, well, only 3 seconds left here.
That's the thing. They've only got 3 seconds. They're not even going to get the snap off. And that's the half. Now, Central Florida is wondering after the clock stops on the penalty. But no, it does not. Once the ball is set, it's good to go.
Yep, once it's set. So when you're in running clock, the only thing that stops the clock is injury and timeout. Other than that, it is running.
Good reminder for us all. Halftime here in Naples. SoCal 30, Central Florida nothing. We'll be back in a moment to bring you the third quarter FBU National Championship here from the Paradise Coast Sports Complex.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water, so you can lose more sweat and put the league on notice. Gatorade, is it in you?
Yeah, birds in the trap, they gon' stink. Mara serving the act out of baby bottle. Don't tell me shut up, you are not my boss. Turn up so much now I just can't turn off. Don't call me back since you can't answer when I call you. Daddy was a rolling stone, I get it from my father. Chain so heavy that I can't wear all of. She knew I was a devil cause I wear a lot of product.
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures, the home of holes-in-one and one-of-a-kind dishes, the home of incredible comebacks, and just plain kicking back. So come discover a sports paradise, because only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water. Made to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel, so you can lose more sweat and earn a place in history. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Metroplex Stadium here in Naples, Florida. Neil Sika, General Manager of the FBU All-American Bowl, Anthony Williams, with you for the 7th grade FBU National Championship. 30-0 SoCal at the half. We're in a running clock situation, which is 24 points or more. Central Florida is going to start with the ball, and Anthony, I'll ask you, how do they start to get back into this game? What do you address if you're the coaches and thinking about the situation you're in and not worried about the clock moving, because I'm sure that's on the young man's minds, but just to play your element of football and have something solid go your way?
Yeah, right now I think offensively Central Florida's just got to find a way to get in the end zone. I mean, you have to kind of forget about the scoreboard. You're not going to come back unless you score early, and with the clock running, it's going to limit the number of possessions they have. And so really this first series will definitely put a stamp on what kind of attitude they're going to have coming out for the second half. So focus on the offense. Let's try and get in the end zone, and then have our defense get some stops, get it back within running clock, and make it more of a game that they can come back on.
Going to flip the end of the field. They had something cooking a little bit toward the end of the second quarter, including a penalty for a late hit, but they couldn't get set up in time. And good reminder that the clock only stops in this situation for timeouts and injury. 30-0. We've clarified Zion Cates with the orange helmet, number 6, is back there. A throw to the outside. It's picked. It is picked off on the first play of the third quarter. What an interception. LL Nuamata. How about this guy in his hands? He had that great two-point conversion in the corner and then read the route on the outside for the interception.
Completely jumped the route. You'll see the replay here in a second. Just a tremendous play by that young man at cornerback. Absolutely worst-case scenario for Central Florida. There goes the out route there, the hitch, and he just takes it away. It's a 50-50 ball. It's mine, and he almost takes that to the house here. Absolutely not the way that Central Florida want to come out for their first play of the second half.
Von Herbalus just hung that out there. And the anticipation from Nuamata. They said one of the things he excels at, the 50-50 ball, whether it's offense or defense, those are perfect examples that you saw on the two-point conversion if you were watching earlier, and just that interception.
He is 2 for 2, Neil, in 50-50 balls on offense and defense.
Yes, he is.
He's having a good game.
Pretty much gone flawlessly for SoCal in this game. They've got Jennings at quarterback to the outside. Well, we jinxed him. We jinxed Nuamata, who drops that off of his hands on the outside. But everything is in their favor right now. They have earned the cushion of this 30-point advantage, and the clock, their friend, continuing to run. And the bigger peril for Central Florida, it's still a situation where you score in this scenario and you can get it back under 24 and get back on a regular time. But if it goes beyond even 30 points, that shrinks the game even more.
Nice play by the Central Florida defense, getting the stop.
Jamison Thompson got the carry up the middle. And a tackle inside by Robert Hardwick, 7th grade All-American Bowl participant. They flew to the football after that early run by Parker. And then in that opening series, you think the defense is going to lock it down on the running game. But that catch and run by Clarence Walton
changed it.
Unnerved a little bit.
Yes, it did.
Of Central Florida defensively, and they haven't been the same since.
Well, Neil, every team has tendencies, and last time SoCal had the ball 3rd and goal this close to the end zone, they came out in that trips formation. They're going to run that inside slant. Now they're coming out in a bunch formation. Look for some type of flood route here to the left at the bottom of the screen.
So they go pistol. They've got Jennings in there at quarterback, and there's movement. That's a false start on the offense. But SoCal, they're taking their sweet old time here. They don't have to be in any hurry. Already 3 minutes gone here in the third quarter.
Same bunch left formation.
And just keeping it conservative to Jeremiah Parker, who's shown those slippery runs in the middle, and he's fearless too. He's not afraid to take the contact after that initial give. Brings up 4th down and call it 8. They can get a first down inside the 5.
And Neil, as you know, you do a lot of games. The perception of these smaller backs is, oh, you don't want to run them up inside. this kid's like, hey, I'm tough. I got my feet moving, and I'll run like I'm a 200-pound running back up in there. I love that about his game, his leg drive, and the way his ability to finish north and south.
See on the near side, Caleb Brown, he's 19. He caught the touchdown. To clarify that for you, the third touchdown pass from Cicero. Jennings, there's some confusion here in the alignment. And this is one of the scenarios that the clock can be stopped, a timeout, and it's SoCal to take, and probably not something they wanted to expound on here in the third quarter, but with 6:12 remaining, get it right. They've executed pretty much at a high level all game long.
Yeah, and I think I actually do like this timeout. They're not trying to rub it in their eyes or anything, but they want to make sure they got the right play set and tell their linemen to quit moving. And they know the ramifications. If we get this ball in here, that even if we give up a score, to your point earlier, the clock's still going to run. So I'm sure the coach is trying to make sure he has the right formation and the right play against this defense.
Well, conversely, the same question could be asked: how does SoCal not take their foot off the gas, knowing that they're in control of this game?
Most of these coaches have played at high school and college level. They know that it's not over till it's over. There's a nice fade route.
Jennings back quarter throw, and it goes off the back of the DB. And if that's thrown a little bit taller, Nuamatu has a chance, but it's defended well, and a turnover on downs after the nice work by Jaquan Bentley in coverage.
Yeah, really good coverage by Bentley. Would have loved to seen him turn his head and find that ball, maybe get a pick, but he got the PBU, and hey, they kept SoCal out of the end zone. They're still somewhat in the game. Right now, the offense has got to respond. They've got to move this ball quickly and get in the end zone.
They're 88 yards away from where they need to be and have some personnel questions at the moment. Zion Cates is in the backfield. The quarterback is Armani Gonsalves. He started the game, but they've went with two here in Miles Von Herbelis. Gonsalves, two Cates, and it's a crash party. Loss of a yard on that carry. Gap contained and led by the surge of SoCal. Justin Williams, big number 63 in there, and then a host of others joined him on the outside.
And this big man coming from the three technique just pursues down the line, then makes a big hit to close that run down. It's a good job.
Inside of 5 minutes, third quarter, Gonsalves heaving one up there. It is nearly intercepted and then spilled free for an incompletion.
That's going to be pass interference on the defense. Quarterback got a little handsy there. Referee threw the flag immediately. So it's going to be a first down and some momentum for Central Florida.
Well, the flag does come out, and the call is on Aiden Jones. Make it a first down. But we're at 4 minutes already here in the third.
Time is of the essence.
And if you're not used to really playing in the hurry up too, when you know you need to get your offense going, it can just make it that much more frustrating and confusing. There's another flag that comes in after a rough and tumble run right in the middle.
Don't know if it's going to be holding or a face mask. Haven't seen the signal yet here. Black below the waist.
That's the second one on Central Florida, and the previous one was on defense.
Yeah.
And that was really the crucial drive. I believe that was the one where they were still only down 14-0.
It was.
And they had back-to-back that, and then the targeting call, the touchdown pass to Caleb Brown. And that set SoCal on their way. And even with these penalties, whether they're for or against you, it just eating up time on the clock.
And it's momentum killing.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be honest, this is kind of an issue with Central Florida. They're not throwing the ball. They're in a tight formation. You run the ball, the clock's going to keep going here. He's going to roll out. Comes a corner route.
They bring the heat, takes a hit, throws it up, incomplete. Flag comes in.
It's way too much contact in the route, especially at the top of the route, and he's got to call that.
And remind everyone, because this isn't the NFL or college football, you can't have that light contact here at the youth level.
Yep, and once again, just a reminder for those watching, it doesn't matter if the ball is catchable or not. If there's contact while it's in the air, Federation rules, it's going to be an automatic pass interference.
And just throw it up to the targeting hands of Waters, who's got great size. After all of this commotion, the ball is at the 28, and the snap is high, and then it's snowed under on the play inside. Well, attacking was Louis Puasima. Puasima in there, one of their anchors of that defensive line, 52 in light blue. He's got a real motor. Made the stop there. 100 seconds coming up here in the third. 2nd and 12.
Central Florida's offense has just not been on time in this entire game. Bad snaps and penalties, and there's a nice positive play for them.
That's a completion down the seam, and then another flag coming in. It's a flag fest right now after the hit was delivered by Puisima.
I think this is going to be another pass interference, and they're going to walk that off.
Reception made by number 4, Monty Gonzalez.
So this will be the second time that Central Florida has had the ball. Well, they're actually at the 50-yard line here, so they definitely need to convert here to try and get back in this game.
Back and forth it's went. That's tipped in the middle off the hands of the intended receiver and falls incomplete. Well, they wanted Swayze Shand, who wears 81. Half a minute remaining in the third.
Blitz coming off the edge. Throw it to the check down.
They get it to Shand, and
Great.
he is swallowed up by Nuau.
Great tackle in space there. And we got another flag.
Boy, this has been a very janky third quarter. I think that's the perfect word to describe it.
It's the perfect word to describe it. And once again, knowing the SoCal coaching staff, who does a tremendous job, you know, they're looking like they're going to win the game, but they still want to play clean and have the kids look clean. And they've gotten a little sloppy here. So look for them to clean that up a little bit here as we go into the fourth quarter,
That's
even with 3 o'clock.
Apt way for the third quarter to end. Someone walking off a penalty and time expiring. We head to the fourth. SoCal still in this running clock situation, leading at 30-0 on Central Florida here in the 7th grade FBU National Championship.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water, so you can lose more sweat and put the league on notice. Gatorade, is it in you?
Yeah, birds in the trap, they gon' stink, mother. Mara serving the act out of big beef bottle. Don't tell me shut up, you are not my boss. Turn up so much now I just can't turn up. Don't call me back since you can't answer when I call you. Daddy was a rolling stone, I get it from my father. Chain so heavy that I can't fuck all of. She know I was a devil cause I wear a lot of product.
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures, the home of holes-in-one and one-of-a-kind dishes, the home of incredible comebacks, and just plain kicking back.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Naples, 30-0 SoCal. On first down with a running clock, this throw into the air is incomplete. Launched by Gonçalves, who's the quarterback right now for Central Florida. Need to get it into high gear. They wanted Swayze Shand. Neil Sika, Anthony Williams, our fine prep spin crew. 8th grade game still to follow. Utah and GFL. Swing to the flat. Zion Cates tackled on that tug by Caleb Brown. Got out quickly to swing him to the turf.
Really impressed, Neil, with the SoCal defense. They always have a guy in position to make a play. You haven't seen any busted coverages. You haven't seen a lot of missed tackles. We saw a couple of penalties in that last series and in the third quarter, but this defense has been solid and in position all day. Kudos to the defense coordinator for SoCal.
Well, this Central Florida group, most of these players on this 7th grade team were 6th graders last year when their 7th graders won it late in a game against Ohio. And discombobulated for much of the day, and to the outside, the pass goes to Waters. But SoCal, taking a page out of what they saw maybe last year in 8th grade, they lost to Utah, team that thought they were going to maybe come in, throw it all over the yard. I think the balanced approach we've seen today from them, or more so how these 7th graders have established their ground game, have allowed them to be in position to have success, one, and now be in position to win the championship.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's a little bit of a jet sweep. Shand.
That's a great
dancing
job
on the outside and in open space. It's a spectacular tackle. Not on the edge. That play made by Elijah Hatcher.
Take a look at this, you young cornerbacks out there. Jet sweep your side. Cornerback, your job is to either just keep him inside or make a great tackle, attack the legs, and get him down. That's a tremendous open field play by that young man.
That was also 4th down, so it's a turnover on downs. The blanking continues for SoCal. They've got it back, and any sustained drive right here could melt away the rest of the game in the running clock scenario. That's 24 points or more here in the FBU National Championship format. And with the rules,
with SoCal's running game that we've seen, they literally could run this clock out with 7 minutes left. They need to just establish your run here and close this thing out.
And they've got another quarterback on the scene. And it's a give straight ahead through the middle. And that carry comes for Jamison Thompson.
Nice job by Jamison. They're just straight up the middle here. Picks up about 10 yards. Just right midline zero, right at the zero hole. Does a good job. And clock running, 1st down. That's exactly what SoCal wants to get to this game and secure their championship.
Third signal caller of the day. Snap and give goes straight ahead to Thompson. This should pretty much be the formula, you would think, the rest of this game. 6:23 and counting. Running clock came into play late in the 2nd quarter. 3 touchdown passes through the air from Cicero. And then the rushing touchdown from Jeremiah Parker. Separated, and the SoCal Cream has risen to the top.
And, just as you look at the score, but I'm looking, we focus on the running back with Patrick and Cicero, the quarterback. The offensive line is doing business in this game. And I know we don't mention their names a lot, but that offensive line is literally moving the line of scrimmage. They're playing together. I see guys pulling, getting second level. Great job by SoCal's offensive line right now.
That's a great shout. It was kind of a messy play, with the pass off to Walton in the end, and he makes something out of nothing. About 4 yards in the end.
And for you young coaches right now, when you're ahead like this running clock, teach your quarterbacks to prepare for high school. You're not going to run the play until you at least 5 seconds left in the play clock. You should be checking with the umpire, the white hat. Hey, let us know when we got 10. Let me know when we got 5. And just drain this game down and secure the victory.
Speaking of 5, we've got 5 minutes left. Time ticking away. Well, SoCal, runners-up in 8th grade last year. It's a different association affiliated with SoCal when they won the 8th grade title 2018-19. Those Inland Empire teams, they were spectacular. But for the first time, at the 7th grade level, they're going to take home the championship belt. And it's been well earned.
Yeah, no, a really good job by the SoCal team, the coaching staff, and the team director and their parents. Freddie Ortega does a good job down there. Obviously a wealth of talent. This team has been solid and consistent throughout the tournament. Not surprised at their success so far.
Freddie was making sure that this team was well taken care of, even in their off day.
SoCal takes the automatic delay game, which doesn't matter because the clock's still going to run. allows them to get their point formation sets, make sure nothing bad happens. Punt the ball away, let the defense come out and close this game out here with this running clock with 3:45 left.
And some of the players for SoCal in the off day yesterday were getting some cryotherapy, making sure they were refreshed and ready for this action. That's a booming punt by Cicero. And good coverage down on special teams. Jamison Thompson, who had a couple of runs on that last drive, is doing the work as one of the gunners.
It's not a bad return there by number 9 for Central Florida. He's just trying to make something happen here.
That's Willie Kitchen,
Yeah,
who scored a lot of points here in Naples this week and on the run to the final, but offense has found the riddle, and that riddle is the SoCal defense. And a lot of self-inflicted wounds, too, with the penalties. And looking like their final drive here with the football back. Von Herbelis. Gets the offense squared away. Going to look to swing it back. And the pass going to Mason Salazar. Check that. Keithy Walker. But Walker is run down quickly after the reception.
Sounds like a broken record for me, but once again, SoCal defense in position. You got a guy with outside leverage, a guy with inside leverage, short gain, clock keeps moving. SoCal just really winning all 3 phases of the game right now, and there's a big interception for SoCal.
Von Herbelis is picked off for the second time in this second half. Enoch Hinton comes right through the middle and says, look what I found. It's going to be a coronation with that interception for SoCal. And they are 90 seconds away from taking the famous walk at midfield with all smiles.
Yeah, great job by Enoch there. It wasn't an easy catch either for a linebacker on the interception. He went down and kept that thing off the ground and got to celebrate a big thing that linebackers don't usually celebrate. Got a good interception, gives his team the offense the ball back with 1:21. Maybe one kneel down or two, and this game's going to be over. SoCal has truly dominated this game in every phase. Players already starting to line up, show great sportsmanship. Good season by Central Florida team and their coaches and players and parents and their team director. And
they won't even take another snap.
Yeah.
They'll respect the work that's been done. SoCal, so spectacular. A 7th grade FBU National Championship belongs to the team from out west for the very first time at this grade level. 30-0. And a shutout in the process amongst the sunshine here in Southwest Florida. So they'll march off the final 20 seconds with the handshake, and SoCal can then celebrate with their victory, which was thoroughly earned here this afternoon.
Yeah, congrats to both teams, coaching staffs on getting to the championship game. Obviously, only one team can win it. Congrats to SoCal, Freddie Ortega, team director, and also congrats to Central Florida for coming in here and getting to the championship and having a really good season. Once again, if you're a player or you're a youth coach and you're like, hey, you know what? I like what I see here on this YouTube channel. If you've got a team, go to FBUNC.com or reach out, go to footballuniversity.org, reach out to Matt Lauer, to Steve Quinn or Eric Richards, and try and get a team down here. We're going to be expanding the tournament next year, and we're adding flag, we're adding girls flag. We're just continuing to grow here. So we are trying to put together the most professional showcase to give these kids a positive football experience as we can at Football University.
I'm not sure if it's an omen, but both title-winning teams from last year at the 6th and 7th grade level in name alone, not the same players, DFW East and Central Florida, fall short in their bids to repeat. Will Utah find the same fate at the 8th grade level, because they've got the blue bloods of this competition, GFL through the years? The last team to go back-to-back in the 8th grade level, 2020 and 21, Utah, which has been mighty impressive the last 4 years in this competition, looking to do so. And that is coming up next Should be a dandy of a championship game. 30-0, the final score. SoCal defeats Central Florida in the 7th grade FBU National Championship. Anthony Williams and Neil Sika saying so long for the moment. We'll be back with the 8th grade marquee game in a matter of minutes here on this FBU National Championship YouTube coverage from Naples. So long for now.